George Wallace is here. George, thank you so much for being on my show.
Good day, young man, Mr. Townsend Scott. It's been 15 years and we finally made it. 15 years today, this day.
15 years. 15 years. And can I tell the people that you text me at 3:43 in the morning?
Well, I'm on the East Coast. When I wake up, that's what I do. Maybe I was on the West Coast then. That's what it was.
Were you the first guy to do your mama joke?
Well, Arsenio Hall and myself on Arsenio Hall's show, we took it to the public. Arsenio, Will Smith, and myself back in the day. And then the young kids thought it was so funny. I grew up in Atlanta. We called it Jonin at the time. That's what we did. So it meant nothing to me. And then all of a sudden they called me the king of the your mama jokes. And and it was so good and so funny. And even this weekend last weekend in Oakland, somebody said, "How about your mama?" And I said, "I know this old ass white man not gonna sit down here and talk about my mama right in front of my face." And the house went crazy. Yeah, so we started talking about each other's mama. Yeah.
You mentioned Will Smith. I had dinner with Will Smith.
Did you? He's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy. But I got mad at him I used to be clean comedian, a Christian comedian for 47 years.
Right.
And then when Will slapped Chris Rock, that's when I started cussing.
Well,
Let me tell you something, Scott, it hurt me so bad. That's when I started cussing, not cursing, cussing.
Right.
C-U-S-S-I-N. And that's when I went crazy with all of the Smith. He hurt me so badly, so I didn't know what to say. I just said, "Fuck Will Smith." I was really angry. So Chris Rock is like my son. I said, "Fuck all the Smith. Fuck Will Smith. Fuck his wife, Jane, G.I. Joe,
Oh, no.
Fuck her." I went off,
away.
man. I said, "Fuck his grandmama, Granny Smith. Fuck all the Smith. Smithsonian Institute. Mr. Smith goes to Washington. Fuck them all. Fuck Emmitt Smith and the Dallas Cowboys. Fuck Stephen A. Smith, ESPN. Fuck them all. And fuck Judge Clarence. And fuck Judge Clarence too. He's not a Smith, but fuck him anyways." So, and then at the club, Scott, at the club, I was there, and I did some research. Smith happens to be the #1 name in America. Is there anybody in this room named Smith? And they go, "Yeah, well, fuck you too." So,
George, I gave it away, and I didn't try to, but I'm gonna, since you did it. Lester Bibbs is the man that is responsible for you and I getting together.
Well,
I texted him before and let him know that you and I were doing this.
Exactly.
And he said, "Hang on." He said, tell George I love him and ask him about fuck the Smiths." You went to Ohio, and then in New York is when you started doing comedy and you got to be friends with Jerry Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld, my best friend for 48 years.
Right.
I'm the real George. I'm his roommate for 13 years. I was best man in his wedding, and I'm the father of his kids still today.
Wait, there's more. There's more. If I did my research right, you were pallbearer at his mother's funeral, and you own half of everything he has.
Oh, you really did some research. I have a check in the bank right now. And if he ever gets divorced, I'm going to turn that check in and get half of everything he owns. How about that?
You got a check. You have a check that says that Jerry, you guys made a pact or something, right?
Exactly. Half of everything I own.
First TV show was Good Times.
Yes, with Jimmy Walker and Thelma.
Yeah, and again, I grew up on Norman Lear, All in the Family, and the Jeffersons, and J.J. Walker, and I just can't get over it.
It's amazing. And to know that Norman Lear produced all those shows. And now I have a brand new show coming out on Amazon in February called Clean Slate, also produced by my good friend, Norman Lear. I am the last show. Yes, I'm the last show he produced before he kicked the bucket.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
that's a blessing.
George, that's amazing. Boy, I hit that one out of the park, didn't I?
Yes, you did. And the show is called Clean Slate.
I saw you did some promos for it, and believe me, I'll do everything I can to help out a little bit. I can do.
You got a deal. I wanted to reboot Sanford and Son. Basically, I just wanted to hear. And he says, "Come up with an idea." So I came up with an idea, and the idea was now it's going to be like Sanford and Son, Sanford and Daughter. It's called Clean Slate. I have a son that left my house when he was 17 years old and didn't come back until 27 years later. And he emailed me and says, "Dad, I'm coming home." And the next day I go to the door, most beautiful lady you ever seen in your life. And I said, pretty lady, I don't know whether you're selling Avon or the Watchtower, but I'm not buying today. My son is coming home. And she says, Dad, it's me.
Oh my.
And so what this old black man from Alabama is doing, he has to change his life. That's why we call it clean slate, and learn how to live with her life. And she has to learn how to live with mine. And it's about love and letting people live and be who they want to be. And my daughter is Laverne Cox.
I knew Laverne. There you go.
Yeah,
Wow.
so we're pushing this, and it's already translated into every language in the world, and it's Amazon, and it's going to be big. It's controversial, you know. Normally, never
Yeah.
touched anything that wasn't controversial.
You saw my jaw drop, you know.
That's what we. That's the first thing I said in the show is
That's okay. You can say that. You can
what.
say that. No, because I got that's the trick. That's the trick I have up my sleeve, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Um,
So, but it's going to be really good, and she's really good, and it's the whole staff is really. Thelma Hopkins, she's on with me, and we're going to be fighting. That's my fighter, like Sanford and Son and Esther. Thelma Hopkins and I will be fighting.
Esther used to have that take your face and dip in dough and make gorilla cookies.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. Shut
Here's
up,
one
you
more
old
for you.
fool. Shut
Lamont,
up, you old
Lamont,
fish-eyed fool.
Lamont, tonight I'm making up your favorite dish, steak or rice or beanie.
You know
Yeah.
my man, Red Fox, yes. But Morgan Freeman, let me tell you something. The first thing I ever said to Morgan Freeman, they were shooting over his shoulder, shooting at us. And I don't know what Morgan Freeman said. Wait a minute, I don't have to do this. I'm a superstar. I don't have to sit here. I got to stand in while you're doing this shot like this. And I don't know what George Wallace says. Morgan Freeman, sit down and shut the fuck up. And it was they went crazy. Half the place went crazy. The other half going, no, he didn't say that to Morgan.
Yeah.
It was so funny. Morgan Freeman was hitting the table with that bad hand, you know, the one with the glove.
Yeah.
It was really
That's
funny. And
funny.
every day after that, he talked about my mama. George, your mama's so ugly. So
Yeah.
what a great man. What a great guy. What a great man.
You
What a
guys
great
still
guy.
friends to this day?
To this day. To this day.
Wonderful,
I love
wonderful.
Morgan Freeman. And
Kind of like
I'm
you
trying
and
to get
Jerry
his role.
Seinfeld. Kind of like you and Jerry.
Now it's me and Jerry. But